When you say, "I want this to happen," about something that hasn't occurred yet, you're not just activating the vibration of your desire, but also activating a vibration of the absence of your desire. Thus, nothing changes for you. Often, even when you don't vocalize the second part of the statement and simply say, "I want this to happen," there's an unspoken vibration within you that continues to keep you in a state that doesn't allow the fulfillment of your desire. Today's message not only demonstrates the value and importance behind our words, but also the value and importance behind our energy. The truth is, energy is much more powerful and significant than words, or even the actions you take. When you say you want something to happen, but your energy suggests it hasn't happened yet, or you believe that everything you're experiencing now will improve once you experience, be, do, or have that thing you're focusing on. You're focusing on the lack of your desire rather than actually having it realized. You've heard this from me countless times. Everything you wish to be, do, have, experience, create, and share already exists. The path to it exists. The means for it exist. Whoever is needed to help bring it into fruition is already designated and awaiting energetically on your path, awaiting your call to fulfill that manifestation. In the third dimension, everything happens first in the fourth dimension. So when I say your manifestation is done and complete, I truly want you to connect with the energetic essence of that. Even if, in the third dimensional level, you can't physically see your manifestation yet, it doesn't mean it hasn't already been accomplished. An example I love to use for this is the idea of planting a seed, like an apple seed, and watching that seed blossom into a full apple tree. The entire manifestation of the tree, how many branches it will have, what it needs to sustain itself, the nutrients it will need to produce and sustain the manifestation of becoming a fully grown, blooming, apple-laden tree, all exists within that single small seed. We can understand this in the context of nature when it comes to seeds and trees, and even when we look at ourselves on a physical and scientific level, from coming from a tiny egg and sperm to becoming the grand, beautiful, bold beings we are today. But for some reason, when it comes to our creations, we expect it to be different from everything else presented to us in nature. Just as you can easily plant a seed in the soil and have all the nutrients, rainwater, sunlight, or whatever else needed to bring it to full fruition come easily and effortlessly to that seed, why would we expect our manifestations to be any different? There are patterns throughout this universe, and the more we allow ourselves to be open to tuning into these patterns, the more we will recognize and solidify within ourselves that we are all one within this beautiful co-creative dance we find ourselves in within the universe. Why believe it has to be harder than planting a seed and having complete faith and confidence that by providing the nutrients, that seed will blossom? In our case, the nutrients we need to provide are our own love and light for ourselves, the things we are manifesting, and the environment we currently find ourselves in. Just as trees have faith that no matter what happens in the environment, they will thrive, we need to have the same positive attitude toward our own life experience and the things we are creating. There are seeds that can thrive even in the most arid environments, seeds that bloom in the desert, and even seeds that sprout in the crack between sidewalks. I have literally seen small sprouts of life through tiny flowers, small trees that have found themselves in the most ridiculous situations, and I am always impressed by how life always finds a way. Embracing this attitude and perspective toward life will be very beneficial to your manifestations and your life experience as a whole. Sometimes we place so much emphasis on the third dimensional reality and all the things we can see and feel with our senses that we forget that every desire for our manifestation or the thought that brought it didn't even come from this dimension. Most of the time, we receive a random thought, idea, or inspiration that leads us to desire the things we desire. Similarly, if the idea of desire didn't even come from this dimension, why not trust that the means to accomplish it will also come from that beautiful non-physical dimension? Things happening in the third-dimensional reality may perhaps initiate a thought, but if you are truly honest with yourself and allow yourself to be aware, many of these ideas seem to just come to us. Or we experience something in the third-dimensional reality that allows us to put together our own pieces to create that beautiful desire that seems to come out of nowhere but enlightens us. And the reason it enlightens us is that at that moment, we are allowing ourselves to remember who we are at that moment in time. When we think of our desire in a pure, positive, and loving way, we naturally reconnect with our authenticity, that beautiful energy of the divine source within us. And with that energy, we understand that all things are possible. We don't need to go outside ourselves to try to figure out when, who, how. All these answers are already answered, and the answers will be inspired from within us. The fact that you can think about this thing you desire, tune into it, feel it, think of all the ways it will positively impact your life, is proof that it already exists. Even if we look in spiritual texts, it is described that God said, "Let there be light," and then light simply manifested magically around. But when we conceptualize this idea, technically speaking, it seems that light couldn't even have existed until that exact moment when the words "let there be light" were spoken. The reason this manifestation was so instantaneous was more or less at the same time that God wanted the light, they naturally created and allowed the light. There was some level of understanding that more was possible. And because there was an unwavering faith in the word, as well as an unwavering faith in the energy that could be accessed when the concept of light was considered. Light manifested through spoken word, but more importantly, with the faith and certainty that more existed, and therefore more would be allowed at that moment. When you say things like, "I want something that hasn't happened yet," you are moving towards your manifestation, but at the same time, you are pulling back. It's this push and pull energy that allows you to stay exactly where you are. Because the moment you want more, you start moving towards more. But then, when you respond saying, "But it hasn't happened yet," you pull yourself back to this present moment. And if that's what you're going to focus more on, that's what will continue to manifest. Recognize that everything around you was first a thought, and the power lies in the focus of that thought. Whether it's a chair, the internet, music, anything you can conceive was first a thought, and through the persistence of flowing energy into a specific thought, redefining it, and truly tuning the energy of it. That's how we allow ourselves to pull from the fourth dimension what already exists and has been inspired within us. See your manifestations in this way. Not as something you're trying to make happen, but as something that already exists, that you've consciously tuned into, that you're open to receive and recreate in this third dimension while focusing on the things you desire and why you desire them. How they will abundantly add to your life, to the lives of others, how they add to your love and joy. That's what accelerates manifestation. The more you think of it in this way, the more you tune into the energy behind it. That's how you bring it into this third dimension. You will then be inspired to take the necessary actions to achieve it, but have unwavering faith and confidence that, just like the seed planted in the soil, everything needed to fulfill your manifestation exists within the manifestation itself. Through your desire, you are given the tools to manifest it. The more you focus in this way and allow yourself to remember that all the energetic force of the universe, which was able to create everything, exists within you and continues to exist within you to bring all your current manifestations to life. You will begin to believe in this truth more each day as you open your eyes to this understanding, you will literally see your manifestation begin to bloom around you better than you could expect if you tried to do it alone. So, don't allow yourself to be alone. Remember that you have this energy and power within you, but you also have free will. You can make this life experience as easy or as difficult as you choose. So, start declaring now that the energy of God, of the universe, of the source, lives within you. As you've reminded us in the Bible, and I'm sure all other sacred books mention it too, this energy is alive and well within you and is simply waiting for you to provide the direction of where you want to go. But have the confidence that everything needed along the way to take you there will be delivered to you, piece by piece, in the easiest, most fun, and natural way possible for you. If you want to know more about this topic, comment part 2 below so we know. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow for another Mindful Living Insights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share with others.